So I believe that an animal can only think of one main thought at a time. Somebody here will disagree with me on that. Sure, that's all right. But an animal, this is a proven thought. An animal can only think of one main thing at a time. I think humans are getting better at thinking of two things at a time because of cell phones and all that. But here's a good example of humans can't think of two things at once either. Now, you've all been, well, maybe not everybody, but a lot of you have been driving down the interstate and you've been texting or looking at your cell phone and driving at the same time. I'm sure you girls haven't, but some of us older folks probably text and drive or at least read that stuff. And you can do it if you're in Williston, North Dakota, going across the interstate where there's not a turn until you get to Iowa. But have you ever seen anybody texting going through one of those roundabouts? That's tough. There's too many things to think about. You see, so the more complicated life is, the less you can think about different things. And horses, you should ask them one thing at a time, especially as a colt starter when you're training. So what we have in our Western world, we're pulling on their faces, we're kicking on their bodies, and we're doing about 4 different things at once. And we confuse the horse, and they get so confused that we have to start using repetition as our training. So I'm a big believer in asking for one thing at a time. So if I want this horse to move his hindquarters to the right, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to use my hand first. Right, Dale? I'm going to use my hand first, I'm going to get the eye and the nostril, I'm going to shift the weight forward, and then I'm going to ask with my leg. And he makes it right across real easy. But he had a lot of time to do it. But as he gets better, I can start stringing things together better. Now, if you use one hand and one leg on the same side, that's not the same as opposite sides. See, that's really, really important. People, when you start using 2 legs and 2 hands, now he's confused. He doesn't know where to go because he can't keep track of all this pressure. And so I'm real big on one side or the other. And if, so like for headland cattle, or you see a border collie dog, a gathering dog, when they're moving sheep or cattle, they're going to go from the right eye to the left eye to the right eye. They go back and forth like this. And what they're doing is they're switching sides of the brains, and the animal can't keep track of it, so they just move out forward. Well, a lot of times with humans, when we're riding a horse, we take both legs in, and you see what it does? It brings his ears right back to my legs. So I've drawn his mind to my legs rather than what's out there in front of him. So if I alternate my legs, I go left, right, just like a border collie dog, that creates forward movement a lot more pure and better. So I try never to go with both legs at once. If I need to get a horse that's pretty low and won't fall off my seat, I use one leg and the other. I'll alternate legs. And he'll get cranky about it, but then pretty soon he'll say, okay, I'll trot. So that's real important too, understanding how that works. Left side, right side. Okay, so now I wouldn't want to, and that's kind of controversial to what I try to get my horses soft, and I squeeze my legs and try to get them to give with their chin. And what happens is you got to overdo with your legs to overcome your hands, and then you have to overcome your hands with your legs, and pretty soon you get this heaviness. Because the horse can only think of one thing at a time, and we're creating this heaviness with asking 2 things at once.